What's going on, guys? Money Making Joey back doing another video, and in today's video we're going to be speaking about is driving rideshare, Uber and Lyft. Is it safe? Is there anything you should be worried about? And I actually want to touch on a very specific topic as well, because I was browsing around YouTube and I saw a video from another channel that makes rideshare videos, and they were speaking about a driver. I'm not sure which state he was in, but there was a driver that got deactivated for, displaying a weapon. That was a couple months ago, and then there was another one that I saw today about a driver that got into some kind of altercation and gunfire was exchanged, and he got deactivated because he wasn't supposed to be driving passengers with a weapon. So I want to get into it and speak on that, but I want to actually show you guys something, and this is very important. I have a guy that lives down the street from me. He always says it, and when he sees me, he's like, I would not drive Uber unless I can carry a gun on me. That's the only way I would actually do it. For some reason, you have a lot of people out there that think, it's very unsafe, but I want to show you guys, some actual numbers here. You guys can take a look there. I'm not sure. Yeah, you guys could actually see it right there. I have just over 4,900 rides on that was Lyft. Let me go ahead and pull up Uber as well for you guys. And inside of my Uber account, we have just about 2,800 rides. So that's well over 7,000 rides that I've personally done on the Uber and Lyft platform. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Outside of a few incidents, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's pretty much safe. And I'm trying to think of... I think, honestly, I'm going to give you guys some statistics off my head out of these over 7,000 rides that I've completed on both of these platforms. Out of 7,000 rides, I have probably had to put someone out of my car once, and it wasn't really that bad of an altercation. Out of 7,000 rides, I would say that I've gotten into a back and forth disagreement with someone maybe a handful of times. Like, you guys can go back. Currently on the Lyft platform, I'm a 4.9, and on Lyft, I am a 5-star driver. So I don't typically have issues with anyone. Now, another disclaimer that I want to throw out there is I typically drive during normal people hours, morning time, afternoon, things like that. Mostly all of my 7,000 rides were done inside of that time period. Now, I'm going to throw this disclaimer out there. If you're someone that likes to drive in weird hours, let's hypothetically say overnight, you're doing 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning, whatever the case may be in there, your 7,000 rides might just be a tad bit different than mine. Even though one thing I feel that's important to point out is that my father, like I've mentioned in previous videos, he drives during those non-normal people hours during the middle of the night. He as well probably has thousands of rides between both platforms, and he has never been in a situation where he's been in anything crazy, like attacked or anything like that. The only thing that I'd probably say is his ratio of vomits in the car might be a little high for his rides, way more than mine actually, but that's actually it. Now, for all of you newbies out there that's watching the video, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Should you carry weapons in your car? Now, when I say weapons, it might be a few, different things. You might be considering, you might ride with mace. You might ride with a knife. If you're someone that's in an open carry state, it very well may be possible that you ride with your gun. Or if you have a permit, you ride with your gun. Whatever the case may be, it's important for me to point out that if you didn't know, some of you may already know, it is against Lyft and Uber's policies inside of the terms and conditions for you to ride with any weapons. You guys can do your research on this. there was a woman that the passenger just happened to get inside of her vehicle, and the taser or can of mace, whatever it was one of the two, was sitting up in the console, so the customer was able to see it. After the ride was complete, the customer, got in contact with support, made a complaint, and this driver got deactivated. Now, one important thing I do want to say to you guys, if you do decide to carry any one of these things out with you inside of your car while you're driving, do not leave it visible. And that's something that I feel is important to point out, because number one, why would you want to leave it visible anyway? Because if you're ever put inside of a situation where you're going to have to use that weapon, whatever it may be, you don't want to leave it visible for someone to possibly take, or in fact for someone to even know that you have. Like, for those of you out there watching, if you're in a state that you have open carry, I would always go get a permit, just due to the fact that why would you want to open carry so someone can know? I hope you understand, but it's like, it's against the policies with Uber and Lyft. I am going to let you guys know something. Forget about that policy, because at the end of the day, like I said, out of 7,000 rides, I've never had that issue happen to me where I've been in a situation where I've had to use a weapon, but things happen. It's not a perfect world that we live in, but one thing that I can say for sure is that no matter what policy any one of these platforms have, you can bet that I am going to do whatever I need to do to protect myself, and there's going to be no policy against that. So, one thing that I will advise, if you are a driver out there and you're driving around with mace, knives, gun, whatever the case may be, and only carry a gun, please, if you're in an open carry state or if you have a permit, I must point that out. And you'll be good to go. As long as the customer doesn't see it, and the customer, in all actuality, I'm going to be honest, if it's concealed, they're never going to see it, because let's hypothetically say, hey, you're permitted to carry a gun, you're out there on the Uber or Lyft platform and you're driving. It's going to be concealed to no one's actually going to see it. Now, if someone does see it, I am pretty sure it's going to be safe to assume that they're unalived for whatever reason, and it better be a good reason in self-defense or whatever the case may be. Don't be one of these guys, and it goes back to the lady with the mace or the taser in her dash. Not her dash, her middle console, whatever. Don't be one of these guys that pulls a weapon and you don't use your weapon. That's not a game you actually want to play. And if you get deactivated while playing that game, so basically the point that I'm actually trying to make here is that if you are carrying a weapon in hopes of protecting yourself, your customer should never see it. And if your customer never sees it, your customer is never going to report anything. Therefore, you should never worry about being deactivated. Pretty simple, right? And I only point this out because I've been in situations before. I remember, maybe I'm going back probably 15 years. There was a guy, he was in the Army. He was an Army officer, so he was carrying. A big fight broke out in the club, and he pulled his service weapon just to scare people in hopes of breaking up the fight. Did it work? No. Did he look like an ass? Yes. And excuse my language, but I am going to wrap it up there, and I want to make this overall summary for you guys. It is in my full 100% honest belief that driving actually on rideshare platforms like Uber and Lyft is pretty much safe. It's pretty much cool. Like I said, 7,000 rides, actually over that in the bucket without an issue. So that's going to be my take on it, and I'm going to leave it there. Money Making Joey, I'm out of here. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys have found value from it. And like always, do also go ahead and get subscribed to the channel if this is your first time seeing me over here on YouTube, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.